My name is Ryan, and this is my tiny bedroom home gym. I'm currently working towards my personal trainer certification, and the hope is in the next 2 years to slowly transition into that career from what I'm doing now. And also, the hope is at the end of this year, my wife Chris and I actually go to refinance our mortgage, and we're looking to see if we can squeeze a little bit of extra money out to build a shed gym in the backyard. So currently, this gym sits on the second floor in our spare bedroom, and it's 120 square feet. But because of all the storage here against the wall, I'm guessing about 100 square foot. The shed gym that we're hoping to build in the backyard would be 12 by 20, so much bigger footprint, can get some proper gear in there, and then that's where I would be training clients. But for now, this is my personal home gym and where I do all of my training, and it suits my needs just fine. I've got just a few pieces in here, and in my personal opinion, you don't need a ton to get started. I did P90X years ago. I absolutely love it. Shout out to Tony Horton. And you didn't need anything other than a chin-up bar and some barbells. So with a bench and some dumbbells, you can do quite a bit. But today I wanted to take you on a brief tour of just what's here. I don't have a lot, but I have everything that I need and everything that you could want to do really solid workouts and gain muscle mass and get fit and all of that good stuff. So let's take you for a quick tour of my little tiny gym. First of all, we'll start over here with the power rack. So this was bought from Fitness Depot here in Canada. Not the most expensive power rack, but it's sturdy and it'll serve my purpose. Currently, all of my all of my weights in this gym are 1 inch. So there are two types of plate weights out there. If you don't know, there's Olympic that are 2 inch hole and then standard 1 inch. Most people don't use 1 inch. They go to Olympic. At this point, the only real advantage of going to Olympic is the bars are heavier and you can lift more weight. And the power racks and all the stuff made for Olympic plates are just beefier. But there's no reason why you can't use 1 inch. 1 inch were actually cheaper, so I was able to buy all of these weights a lot cheaper and stock out my home gym. To give you an idea, this 7-foot barbell, 1 inch barbell, probably around 65 bucks I paid. A starting Olympic barbell, you're looking well over $100. So everything's more expensive, but it is higher quality. And once we build the shed gym and I get a proper squat rack, like we're going to get a power rack with cables, then I'll look at going to something that is Olympic based with Olympic plates. But for now, I've got around 500 pounds. Actually, no, I've got much more than that. I've got about 400 pounds in the silver grayish colored plate weights that I bought originally. And then recently I stocked up with about another 300 pounds of these black York weight plates. But everything I have is just 1 inch. And I just got these guys in. So these just lock onto the power rack and they allowed me to take all of the plate weights which were sitting on the floor, and now I have them all on my power rack, which looks fantastic. I've got a set of dumbbells starting at 5, 10, 15, 20 over here, and then over here 25, 30, and 40. Downstairs, I've got some bigger ones that I use for farmer carries. I've got a 55 and 65 pound set of dumbbells downstairs. I've got some kettlebells over here, a 12 kilogram, 16, and 20 kilogram kettlebell. I don't do a ton of kettlebell stuff, but I enjoy having them and I do use them. When I rebuilt the gym, I put new flooring in. So this is the Rubber King flooring, which is nice for up here. I didn't want something too thick because, again, it starts adding a lot of weight to this room, and that's what we were trying to avoid. I also custom built these pegboard racks, and I've got my wraps, I've got my weight belt. This was my old cable pulley system. So this thing used to attach with this strap to here. And it allowed me to do, some lat pull downs and tricep presses and a few different things, which was nice. But I just bought a machine yesterday that came in and installed it. So I'll show you that. But just some accessories, but more wrist wraps and my weight belt and stuff over here. I also have this little squat wedge here. I don't actually use it for squatting. I don't have a problem with ankle mobility, so I can squat all the way down without something under my heels. What I actually use it for is in reverse. So I use it for calf work so that I can get a lot lower when I'm doing calf work. I also built my own little custom rack for all my 1 inch. I've got a 7-foot bar on the power rack, 5-foot bar for doing things like, shoulder presses and stuff like that. I've got the easy curl bar, which I just find is a lot nicer for doing things like barbell curls because it puts your hand in a more neutral position. And I've been struggling with some elbow tendonitis, and I found that hammer curls seem to work better. I don't get a lot of pain. So I actually went out just recently and bought this tricep bar, but I actually use it for hammer curls mostly at this point. I've got a few more accessories up here. I had knee issues, knee tendonitis issues, and I was doing a lot of balance work, like one-legged squats and stuff on the balance board. So I actually still use the balance board quite a bit. And I actually just got this thing recently. It's just a back pad for doing crunches and things like that. I like to do a lot of straight leg deadlifts, and I really like the stretch. But I need to be elevated on something so that I have enough room to stretch. So I actually built this as well. So this is really just it's handy to have a little stepper for stuff like you want to do elevated like lunges, or for me, my straight leg deadlifts, I use that. So I just have a little bit more room to stretch down. And I've actually just added some J-cups to the front of the power rack so that I can put the bar there when I'm doing my deadlifts and things like that. As I mentioned, I had knee tendonitis, so I have several therapy bands that I use, and you can see these guys all have carabiners on them, and then I installed this. This is threaded right into the baseboard with a carabiner, and I can just clip on any bands that I want to use, and then I have something to anchor them to. And just a few other accessories over here, little tricep rope. Also, I have this dip attachment. And the dip attachment actually locks on here onto the power rack, which is super nice. And then I have a dip attachment I can use. On that note, let's sneak back into here. So the little walk-in closet in this spare bedroom. There's my attachment for doing like abs and things like that. You can lock your legs in. I've also found I can lock it in when I move my bench over to do lat pull downs and lock it over my knees. And then I also have the hamstring curl and quad extension attachment for my bench. So excellent, can do a lot of leg exercises on that outside of just your standard deadlifts and squats and stuff in the rack. And the rack also does have a chin-up bar, but before we finish up, I'm going to take you down to the living room where I've mounted another chin-up rack. The only thing I don't like about this, and I'm sure everybody can attest to this, like I'm 6 foot tall and I can't hang. I can't dead hang on this thing. I have to keep my knees bent, which takes a lot of energy. So I mounted another chin-up bar downstairs where I have to actually jump to it, and I can fully dead hang, and I just find it a little nicer. And I've also attached a ring on that unit, so I actually have a rope and I can do rope climbs. And this guy came in yesterday. So as I had mentioned, I was looking at getting a proper like rack with like cable pulleys on it. They're expensive, but more than that, they're so heavy. And this room already is supporting too much weight, in my opinion, for being on the second floor of our house. And this is the middle of our house, so our other bedroom's on the other side, which means this wall, there's nothing supporting this downstairs. So I didn't want to put too much weight up here. So the solution I came up with was to buy this super cheap, $229, super cheap, just lat pull down and low row. And of course you can do bicep curl, you can do tricep press, but it's a lat tower and it runs off of 1-inch plates. It did come with an adapter to put 2-inch Olympic plates on, but again, all my plates are 1-inch. And I just built this guy up yesterday, and the way it is stabilized is it's mounted right into the stud in the wall. And I tried it out yesterday. It's great. The one thing, oh my goodness, I knew this was coming because I read the reviews on Amazon. And this thing, because they're trying to shave off some cost on the shipping, this is not one piece. So this bar here comes in 2 pieces and you bolt it together. But it's cheap and it does not match up. So maybe you can see here, but I actually had to take a grinder and clean this up because it didn't match up, and there was a lip, and the sled that holds the weights would not slide on it. Just horrendous, but I knew that was coming. Somebody had posted they did it and said it worked fine, and it only took me about 5 minutes with a grinder yesterday. I also ran some chain lube that I have, some wax-based chain lube for my bike on this thing, and it seems to be working great. So absolutely love it. And now I have a basic cable machine that I can do a bunch of exercises on, and with a few attachments. I've got my power rack. I've got about 800 pounds of weights and almost a full set of dumbbells up to about 40 pounds. And keep in mind, for my body size, like I'm curling 30 for bicep curls. So even 40 is already a little out of my reach. But over time, I plan to fill out the set of barbells. Or sorry, dumbbells. Yeah, that's about all I can say. I've got my little Bugani speaker over here because you want to have some tunes pumping to get you in the mood. And this is also our sports storage for my wife and I. So our running gear, spare parts for inline skates, cycling gear, all our bins, all my swimming gear. I'm also a swimmer. I've been a skateboarder my whole life. A bunch of extra skateboard stuff in here. And then all of my music stuff. I have a music studio downstairs, but all my spare guitar cases and everything stay up here. But that's it. Not too big, but in my opinion, certainly serves the purpose and does the job and is keeping me very fit. And I absolutely love it in here. All right, let's run downstairs real quick so I can show you the chin-up bar. Okay, we're down here on the main floor, and my wife and I were enjoying reliving the good old P90X days, and we've been doing some plyometrics and a few of the workouts together because I still have them all. So actually, we do use this space quite a bit. We'll just slide the little coffee table out of the way, and we have an open space down here to train in. I also have my bike trainer. I have rollers for my bike for the winter, and I put that out down here as well. But as I mentioned, up here, there's our chin-up bar. As you can see, I can just touch it, and I've got this ring, so I can hang a rope, and my rope is actually sitting down here. And then I've actually got some daisy chain stuff, and I've hung the daisy chains off of these hooks, and I can do all kinds of different stuff. I think I've heard them call Australian pull-ups before, where you're basically leaning under something and pulling up with your legs still on the ground. Also, as I said, for farmers carries, those are my much bigger weights down here, and they stay down here because this is where I'll do all my farmer carry work. But that's it. That's all I have. I kind of have this tiny little space down here that I can work in with my chin-up bar and a few extra weights down here, and then the main gym upstairs. But that's all I have for here. And what else do you need? That gym is more than sufficient to stay fit, build muscle, and be happy. All right, that's going to be my gym for 2025, and in theory, until we get to constructing a gym in the backyard, that's what I'm going to have. And I couldn't be happier with it right now. But I got to close this video out because it's getting close to the time when I got to head over to one of the local pools here in Hamilton. And it's a pretty cold and snowy day out. Even better for going for a lap swim this afternoon. All right, I'll see you in a future video. Take care.